Hello folks and welcome to Uncharted Territory. I'm your host Baron Marf and I'm joined as always by the man of the hour, the one and only Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
I hope it's not an hour.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got stuff to do.
Well, you know, you never know with Uncharted Territory. This is where we ramble in the gaming world. We go off wandering around, talking about random subjects, and we decided to mix it up a little bit actually, folks. What we're going to do is we're going to start bringing just random topics to the table. So each week I'm going to bring a topic, Link's going to bring a topic, neither of us are going to know what's on the other person's card. I'm going to find out what it's all about. Truly Uncharted Territory. So, Link, what have you brought to the table this week?
I've been wondering why Nintendo haven't made a game that actually uses NFC cards, other than some arbitrary characters or collectible thing, or Animal Crossing type stuff, where it's just furniture.
So, not a figurine, basically?
No, but because they've obviously started the NFC cards when the 3DS new one with the NFC come out, and no one's utilised it at all.
Well, I don't know. There's some, people in China who've basically copied amiibos onto cards, and they seem to be utilising them pretty well.
But then there's no actual games that has the NFC cards as a gameplay mechanic. I mean, I remember hearing about Capcom.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Were releasing a game that used the train rail cards, Japanese train rail cards in some way.
Okay.
Didn't actually read or find out how, but obviously train use is massive in Japan. Obviously,
massively prolific in Japan, isn't it?
The fact is, you literally pretty much most times of the day, it looks like a sardine can filled with people. So it's a popular
Should we
form
go get
of
a coffee?
transport.
Yeah, let's take a train.
Yeah. And it was an interesting thought and an intriguing idea, because it's something that most city residents have as a train card.
Yeah, because back in the day they used to do games where it was like what was the games where you had to sort of play your cards out in front of you and you presented it to the reader and it did something.
It's all like Magic the Gathering kind of stuff.
Yeah, so why? I mean, what a perfect example.
Yeah.
Why isn't something like Magic the Gathering on the Switch with amiibo cards?
Essentially, you're playing the game with your deck, but you've scanned your deck into the Switch, and then all of the animations, and you can actually
so you play your card.
The battles, and it actually has something going on other than your imagination. I mean, it would probably ruin the games for the purists.
Yeah, but for people who like me who don't give a flying fuck and actually just want the novelty of trying an experience which actually uses amiibo in a way that doesn't make me feel like I'm just buying plastic figurines for DLC.
Just to get a shield
in
a game, maybe.
If you keep presenting it regularly enough. So you've got to always have them to hand. This whole idea of maybe if you wanted to use your DLC somewhere else, you've got to take your amiibos with you. It's like,
that's
really?
it. Like, I can't imagine anyone being sat at the airport going, right, I'll get my Zelda one out, I'll get my Link, there's my Midna. No, that's it wouldn't happen. You just go and buy some Chinese knockoff cards and you'd be like, swipe, swipe.
But there's loads of benefits to doing that, isn't there? Because one, you've got a whole game that effectively you could sell off of selling cards. You could do the pack things. It's like a lot lower cost than a figurine, isn't it? Just a plastic card with a NFC chip in there.
It doesn't even have to be plastic.
Well,
cards and actual the card itself. I mean, there's so many things and so many avenues. I mean, like say Pokemon. A game that was designed, obviously, the card game come after the Pocket Monsters, but again, have it on your Switch.
But what about Top Trumps?
Yeah,
Top Trumps would be amazing. Whammy! Here comes the Incredible Hulk, Marvel Top Trumps with NFC cards. Whammy! Drop that. Oh look, I've just dicked you on that stat. Watch him smash it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I'd imagine it's probably something that Nintendo people have had a look at in prototypes.
Surely.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's a case of it's following like the old core Nintendo thing of mostly kids are going to be buying this. We can't nickel and dime them. We've got to wait until they're at least sort of 20 before we start doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's maybe because of that, because I kept thinking of stuff like an RPG. Just imagine something like Skyrim. All right. This isn't going to. This doesn't hold back gameplay or doesn't hold back the game, and it's not a pay-to-win mechanic. But here's a special edition Metroid Samus suit for Elder Scrolls, you don't have to worry about being on the store. You can go to the shop and buy the card.
Yeah.
You've got the card. You've got this cool little collectible card. Because how many people used to collect phone cards when they used to do them back in the day?
Sticker cards, all sorts of
exactly.
things.
People, we as humanity like to collect shit.
Yeah, we are a bunch of kleptomaniacs when it comes to stupid things about characters we like. You know,
that's it. So there's plenty of scope for use for it.
Think about something like Gwent has recently been released. And you could either interlink it into The Witcher, and then they've got CD Projekt Red have another revenue stream, which actually they're so nice in everything they do. You kind of want to go, please take some revenue stream.
Sure. Do you want no? Please, I insist. Take some of my money for the DLC.
Really nice guy, but never. CD Projekt Red's that guy you think, what a lovely person, but they'll never survive in this world.
No, that's it.
But something like that would work really well. Or obviously they just released Gwent itself. They could just implement it into that. It'd be amazing.
But I love the idea of you've got this game that works on its own, but then it works with the video game. But the video game works on its own. But then, like you say, you've got someone who loves card games but doesn't like video games. I can still play it.
But and also, how often do you find, I as a gamer, I often go to things like board games and such and I'm like, okay, I know
wish
this.
It was more interactive.
Well, I know this isn't the world that I'm coming from, where I'm having to reload, and shit like that. But I'm like, what do I really want out there? And until you find something which you can kind of relate to, which funny enough leads me on to nice little segue, Superhot. These guys had recently completed a Kickstarter program to release a card game. It's been received really, really well.
I think the game itself, it's probably going to be very peculiar and somewhat enjoyable.
Well, principally, it's quite interesting. It's this thing about they lay out the scenario of the room, as in here's your enemies. Here's the scenario, here's your, what options you've got to play, and it's just, it's somehow it works off of who plays off of. Yeah. So it's a bit like a poker, almost to a certain extent, as in what have you got in your hand and how do you play off of it. But it looks really, really interesting.
Well, I think it has, especially Kickstarter, I think the most successful things that have come out of Kickstarter is card games and board games.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Which one was it recently? It got record, Dark Souls, I think it was. Literally, I think it was hours. Not days before it reached funding.
Wow.
Hours. Because as soon as one or two people, it gets out on Twitter and that's it. Vomp. And a lot of board games that have gone on there have done very, very well on Kickstarter. And card games as well. Cards Against Humanity, I think was one. Yeah. They were a Kickstarter.
The Kickstarter environment for anything like that, I don't usually get involved with Kickstarter projects too much unless it's something I really want and it's just not available in the market and someone's doing it. But I've invested in some playing cards, normal deck of cards. Just really high quality playing cards, and it's a really nice little environment of reasonable transactions to make something happen, which you could end up with something very unique and bespoke because it doesn't take off in I don't know.
I think the biggest problem with Kickstarter is people don't realise what they are when they're a backer.
Yeah,
they I think a lot of people see that as I'm paying for this product, I'm pre-ordering.
They think that I'm just buying a product. For example, these playing cards, they were ready effectively. It took the gentleman, I won't mention who, but a long time to get them ready. They're ready now, but as part of it there was also a card holder which effectively is like a centurion mask, which they sit within, and he's had no end of problems trying to get these things sort of built and manufactured because of the low quantities building, at the price point it's reasonable for him to do so. And he's probably, he said, you can either have your cards now or you can have it all sent at once. As it is, I'm, just waiting.
It's a pack of cards.
Yeah. But, effectively, this has gone on for a good couple of years, and I'm quite happy, he's good communication, he's doing his best, and I'm okay with that, and I know at any point I can just pull the trigger on it. But still, it's this thing about, we all just thought, bang, put the money in and you get something. No, you're investing in somebody's business and you're investing guaranteed in an success.
Idea.
Yeah.
And that is purely it.
And it's whether that person can make that idea come to fruition is the real question.
This is why you're referred to as a backer, not an investor.
Yep.
Because you're not investing you're not investing in the company, you're not investing in the person, you're investing in that idea. And you're believing that person can bring that idea to fruition.
Exactly.
Which 70%, maybe 65% of the time does normally pan out.
And I think
A
the
lot of the
majority
time it
of
doesn't.
people are just. I think a lot of people try. There's a very, very small group of people out there trying to pull a fast one, I think. But the majority of people try. But you know the general public out there, folks. You know how reliable they are. Do you believe all of them will be successful?
No, God, no. Yeah, but that is, I think, like you say, therein lies the problem, is people's expectations. Obviously, we've seen, no matter what industry you look in, no matter what thing that they're intrigued or hyped about, people's hype gets the better of them, and they don't sort of take themselves back and think, is it going to be as good as I think it will be? I mean, I've got this rule now. Any film, book, TV show, game or whatever, I go into it assuming it'll be shit. That way I'm never disappointed.
It was shit, thank God.
Yeah, but it's sadly, it's a cynical way and a very pessimistic way to approach these things, but history and experience has taught me that assume it'll be shit and you'll be pleasantly surprised.
So us, obviously, as per the norm, rambling massively off topic here, but do we actually think in any way Nintendo are going to pick up this idea and run with it, or do we think it's years away yet and it'll just accidentally be stumbled over by somebody else?
I'm kind of in two minds on it. I'm thinking that they've probably been working at it and prototyping these things, but they haven't found a good enough hook for it to be worthwhile, or they've prototyped it, shelved it completely, much like their heart monitor.
Yeah.
It's still coming, it's still coming. Shh, everyone's forgotten.
Let's not bother, eh? Looks expensive.
So I'm thinking it's either they're working on it and they just haven't found the right hook. They've worked on it, it's fucking bombed, it's just going to cost too much time, money and resources for the payoff. Or the other option is they're just going to wait for Apple to do it and get it mainstream, and then they'll jump in and say, look, our 3DS does this, or we've got cards as well. We were actually the first to do it.
Yeah, promise. Yeah, just you had to pay through your nose for a little plastic figurine. Yeah, sorry. Cool. Okay. Well, there we go. This is a bit of amiibo card action. It's a nice idea. Do you know, a lot of possibilities there. Lots.
I just like the idea of being able to pick up random, like you say, costume sets or weapon sets.
Just have some general DLC out of something else, which is not just a DLC card or a DLC figure. Like
you say, you've got all of these cards set up. For example, COD. You've bought the season pass, but each one of them comes with a little card where you can actually set them up as dog tags. You could use them as a display.
Many things they could do, isn't there?
But you've at least got something tangible for your £15 as opposed to just ones and zeros on your hard drive.
Interesting idea. Interesting.
Yeah. So what have you brought to the table?
Well, do you know what? I've been pondering, I've been cogitating and considering, and I've been thinking that actually, do you know what? Fuck graphics. I'm done with graphics now.
Oh, is it not like porn? Like animated porn?
Oh no, I'm fine with that.
Not like fuck graphics?
Oh no, not actual fuck graphics, but fuck, I'm done with graphics now.
Yeah.
I don't think we need any more graphical upgrades. So I'm pitching to you, right, that we should say no more graphical upgrades, just make our games run better.
Yeah, that's a fair shout. So obviously it's somewhat of a surprising thing with obviously we've just heard about Xbox's new push into 4K. It does come as a bit of a surprise because you were very much had your little pot of money ready for your 4K TV. Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not changing the fact
you're both feet straight in on that.
Yeah.
But so this is where you're drawing the line now. 4K's enough. Stop.
No, just, do you know what? We got the Xbox One. We had the 360, and for me, the 360 was a real workhorse of a console. And the fact that it was bridging a gap from a partially online environment to most games will be online, and
it's a fully online experience.
Yeah,
wasn't
it? So you can expect to have to work a network aspect of this console and for this environment to run smoothly and all that. So I was okay, and I thought it ran very well as a console doing that. And then we got to the Xbox One, which was supposed to be bigger, better.
It was your living room hub.
Yeah, but it was just generally supposed to have some muscle.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be able to run as an all-the-time machine, on all the time, big fans, big this, big that. And don't get me wrong, it does run very quietly and all of that, but it's janky as shit. The user interface is slow and awkward. The amount of times I press things in, buttons into my console, and it goes and catches up with everything.
That's the worst. Because I kept thinking the other day, I was on the stall. The stall, surely it doesn't take that much grunt to run the fucking stall. And I'm pushing down, and I'm thinking, is my fucking console fucked?
Yeah, but
I'm literally getting up to turn the thing off at the fucking plug, and then the screen moves.
Yeah.
You're like, how is it taking 30 seconds, 40 seconds for it to fucking go from one square to the fucking next one to it?
And what gets me really shitty about this is in my mind, and I could be jumping to the wrong conclusion, but I kind of think actually what they're probably trying to do is panic about how much they download from the internet, what adverts they put on, what positions where that game's not in that position on the charts anymore. The top 5 has to have a different image because somebody else has paid for that. And they're trying to realign my store all the time, and it just doesn't work very well. They haven't got enough horsepower in the machine handling graphics and movement and sharing of information. It doesn't do clever things like, hey, this is a text box, right? So someone's going to want to type into this. So let's not try and run this off of guessing what the internet thinks they're going to type. Let's just let them type in it so it works like a normal typing box. And then take that information and then send it to the internet like a normal search bar usually does, It's that kind of shit which is just, it's not designed and it doesn't work very well. And I'm thinking, you're just trying to make these graphical beasts when actually I'd rather you make this thing run well.
Yeah, that's it. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? What leap has happened this generation from 3 to 4, or from Xbox 360 to Xbox One? Nothing.
Well, no,
power. The biggest technological leap is they're going with off-the-shelf parts.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's a standard PC per se. But the other thing is that they've just kind of also left this shitty situation where they're saying, don't worry, both generations are supported. Fuck both generations. Let the old generation play old generation games. If you're doing something like a Destiny, if you want to support the old generation, do a dumb stripped down version and have a super version, but don't make them the same game. I know that's not financially viable, then don't fucking do it.
Forza Horizon 2 is a great example of that.
This is the beef.
Obviously both console generations, so it was on the 360 as well as the Xbox One. But the 360 one, it was exactly the same map, had all of the same cars. It was just a stripped down version because it couldn't handle the extra stuff that was in the in the Xbox One version. But did that make it any less shit? Did it make it a shit game? No, it was an amazing game. I absolutely enjoyed the fuck out of it. So much so that I went and bought it for the Xbox One straight away when I got my Xbox One. That was in fact my second purchase after GTA. So for me, I've grown up with fucking hell. Well, you couldn't even call them 8-bit graphics. I mean, fucking Amstrad C464 graphics, for fuck's sake. Whereas you get 2 colours, and one of them's black.
Yeah.
And the other one's green.
The other one's strobe.
That's it. The other one's epileptic seizures.
Yeah, the other one's white noise and drooling.
Yeah. So I've always been about the gameplay. I mean, there are times when you look at a game and it's just so pig dog ugly that you think, why the fuck didn't you just spend a bit of time prettying that up? I mean, I've yet to play a game that's so awful in terms of how it looks that I can't play it. It's just lots of games that are so awful that I don't play it because it's just distracting.
Oh yeah, there's lots of games which pull me from the reality when I come up to the corner of a property or a tree and it's just literally rectangular and someone's just painted a flat graphic on top of it.
Even better is when you've got something like a bridge and you can't walk underneath the bridge.
Yeah,
there's
walls.
8 foot above me. There's nothing that I could catch on physically. Why?
Invisible walls.
Or the tree one where you got the trunk, but you can't actually walk to the trunk because the foliage is in the way. But that's again a few foot above your head.
Yep.
There's no possible reason why you can get to that fucking trunk. Oh yeah, there is. Poorly designed.
Yeah. Poor physics boxes.
Like you say, we got to put up a fence to stop me getting to the tree. The reality's not lost.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't jump over that fence. Well, I can't jump, so that's okay.
I think the problem is there's as generations move on, people do have an expectation for better graphics, and when they do that, along with that comes the whole thing of you have to balance making better graphics in the game so people go, oh, that's pretty, along with making it run well. And I don't think people are very successful at that, and we see that in many instances, like when DICE try and roll out a new Frostbite engine, and they do it on Battlefield, and it just chokes like a pig, and they spend 8-9 months patching the shit out of it like it's some sort of quill.
Well, it's like you say, it's an engine that's designed for high-end PCs, and we're trying to fit it into
the 360.
Yeah.
And it's in, right, go run it. Ooh, don't touch it. No, that's running warm.
No, you can't run it as well. It's just, it can play on it.
It fits.
There, that's it, you're done.
Yeah, what more do you need?
So yeah, I'm completely in agree with you. I think now we've got to the point, like, is my gaming experience going to be any greater because the individual hairs on the protagonist's head sway in the wind? No, because I'm never going to fucking notice them, because I'm too busy running from the fucking thing that's chasing me, or chasing after the thing that I'm running after.
Yeah, I do find lots of times when people like do their beans, say for like the graphics of a game, and maybe it's just I play things really badly, but I've been doing this a lot on Shadow Warrior 2, where I'm running around and I'm mostly just interested in the path where it's leading to me and where the door is, and I stop and think, hold it, wait, there's a whole world that I've just paid for, I should have a quick glance at it. Oh yeah, that's very pretty, and then I carry on running.
Yeah, that's it. You sort of go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Saying that, the one game that I have been completely gushing over how good it looks, and that's obviously the Sea of Thieves. Like I remember, probably shouldn't talk about this.
Probably can't talk about this at all.
But, just watching the water, like literally the first sort of hour of the game, I was just like, yeah, great, I know the sails need taken care of, but look at that fucking water.
It is unbelievable.
And the skies and the sunsets. Yeah. I mean, as a game for vistas, I've not found a better one, maybe Uncharted 4.
Yeah,
that's
possibly
one of the few.
Well, just for those who are on the beta, there's some sessions like today and happening like tomorrow and generally over the weekend. So go have a look. I think they're running from like 11 till 2 for British Standard Time. So this weekend, so go try them out. So yeah, if you're on it, go do it.
Yeah, if not, get signed up to the Insider program. It's free to join. It won't guarantee you an invite to the alpha, but it will at least give you a chance, and you've got your foot in the door. And they are trying to get more and more people on the servers to test concurrent players.
Well worth a play.
Oh, it's definitely.
We can't say anything because we're NDA'd up, but.
And probably as we speak, Rare are making their way to my house to fucking kick my door down and smash up my Xbox.
But it is amazing, play it.
Luckily I've got a PlayStation 4 and Sword Art Online, which I'm macking the fuck out of.
Whoa.
So hopefully they don't smash that up as well.
So, do you know what does worry me a little bit though? We talked about how amazing the sea looks and stuff like that's absolutely fine, but what about when it becomes a bit more like, you're playing like a first-person shooter? Have you seen the Logan movie?
No.
Right, well, either which way, there's a bit where somebody gets shot in the face, and it's pretty brutal, and it's like, well, that's too real.
That's going to sting in the morning.
Yeah, so what happens when graphics get to that point? Do we need it to get to that point?
So
is it good for us?
What I'm sensing is the overarching question is what's the Daily Mail going to think of it when it looks so real, it looks like your next door neighbour?
Well, the Daily Mail's probably just, going to make a meal out of it.
They're reactionary at best.
Yeah. But I remember looking at Mortal Kombat like 9 when they started doing the X-ray breaks and stuff like that, and some of them were just like he's literally just watching Goro hold somebody by the ankles and over his head smash them face first into the ground to crack their jaw and teeth and stuff. It's like, that's fucking horrible, man. And yeah, you do get used to it after you've pressed it 3 or 4 times.
Again, like you say, 3 weeks of playing it and you're like, all right.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is you do just go, do you know what, that's a video game.
Yeah, but there is that, like you say, that clear distinction that it's a video game. I mean, we ourselves are fairly compos mentis, and I would like to think psychologically sound.
Reasonably.
There obviously are those among us that have not got such functions over their mental state.
Yeah.
And obviously it's people like that you worry about with these things, because...
I don't encourage, giving like more combat to people who are sort of like...
psychotic.
Yeah,
but again, that's if it's known. Yeah. If you are known to the authorities, then it's okay, but generally it's like most things, it's the unknown that's the scariest.
Yeah, you should have to do some sort of blood test when you go to buy the game or something,
just answer these 3 simple questions.
What would you do if
you found a dead kitten in the street?
Yeah,
would you A,
eat it,
B, put it in a bin, or C, fuck
it.
its mutilated corpse?
Yeah. Yeah. So
See, yeah, welcome to the club.
it is Mortal Kombat.
But no, I think it's get to the point now. It doesn't matter. I think we're seeing more and more, especially with the pixel art stuff. You can create a great game that looks fantastic, that plays well. But it's not bleeding edge.
What about things such as HDR? I mean, are you HDR'd up? Are you 4K'd?
No. Again,
does it appeal to you?
No, not in any shape, way, or form. Because it's going to cost me £1,000 to fucking enjoy. Ooh, I can see a pretty gamut of colours. So can I. It's called looking out of a window.
But yeah, do you know what? This was kind of my concern. Is like, okay, I get that you'll get a richer colour set, and I also get that none of us can appreciate it because the only time you ever see it is when you're stood in the middle of like Curry's or PC World or whatever.
You're looking at it, and then you look at the zeros attached to the fucking thing. You're like,
But I can't tell how much better that is from my one at home, and But you know, I was looking at it, and I was going like, well, okay, richer gambit of colours, got that. Runs in 4K. I get the smoothness. Okay, very very cool. But does that really warrant sort of another £1,200, £1,500, maybe just on the TV alone, let alone the console to do it?
Games.
And I was just thinking, that's not like some sort of graphical jump, like, holy shit, that's a real world. It's not like
going from SNES to PlayStation where you're like, fuck, this is a whole new dimension.
Yeah, and
what the shit?
Yeah, so I'm a bit like, does this really warrant it, and do I need to do that?
Well, I mean, I can't really comment on this because I think the PlayStation 3 was out for about 4 years before I actually got a HD TV.
Right.
I was like, until my TV's fucking broken, you can fuck off. I'm not going out and buying a TV specifically just so I can look at it and it looks slightly prettier. Fuck that shit.
Because there is that thing that you're like, wow, this is amazing, and 5 minutes later your £1,000 investment doesn't mean jack because you've acclimatised to it.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like anything. It's wondrous and fantastic and new, and then it's just the norm.
Standard as.
Yeah.
So I guess for me the only reason which sort of stimulates or lights a fire under my feet a little bit is kind of the thing about effectively you're getting left behind.
Yeah.
So there's that sort of like, actually now you can't play this game, or you've only got a limited amount of whatever because you're on the wrong console. Or
I look at that in a different light. I look at it as, thank God they've fucking gone.
Goodbye. See ya.
Bye-bye. I'm like Chevy Chase watching Randy Quaid leave at the end of fucking Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, thank God. I love you, mate, but fucking thank God you're back on the other side of the country.
Which I guess in many ways is also like when a new bit of DLC comes out on Destiny or something and everybody feels like Randy Quaid showed up. And they're like, don't worry, we'll be gone when we leave next month.
It will be better this time.
Yeah.
It won't be as bad as the last time. But you said that last time. I feel like an abused spouse.
Yeah.
That's being told sweet nothings by my other abusive spouse.
Indeed. So, I mean, overall, graphics, final thoughts.
Don't get me wrong, it's a very needed thing. There needs to be pushing of the line and the limits. But at the same time, it's not all about that. Like you say, into concerns as to buying into it until actual standard television is output at 4K. Not fucking interested. Same with HD. None of the channels even fucking output at HD. It's all 720. That's not technically HD, guys.
Yeah.
It's like saying, oh, here's that £100 I owe you, and it being 70. No, that's £100. That's £100 ready.
Ready to go. Yeah. So all in all.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think we've now got to a point that the graphics are good enough. We could stop here and just, like you say, work on performance and making sure things run properly.
Yeah, I mean, my final take on this is I'm just fed up of buying more powerful machines which run worse than my previous one.
Yeah,
and for
add more shit and more problems arise.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's great you're trying to give us all these options, but get your house in order first. You know, deliver what you're doing in a lean, mean fighting machine, and
Take the switch.
And then I mean, bang on the money. Great example. Run smoothly, user interface simple, clean, effective. It's, you know, they've got it down pat really for just sort of your day-to-day use of that console, and that's, you know, I don't need the complications.
And for someone that was we're sort of cutting into this final thought.
We'll carry on.
But you were very much one that was worried about the power side of the Switch.
Oh,
How do you
yeah.
feel about it now?
Do you know what? As always, Nintendo seem to find themselves their own little space, and they go, actually, this is how we run perfectly at this power level. Fuck what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
at this level,
you go off and map
have a look at Mario Kart. See, there we go. Have a look at Mario Kart and tell me.
It's almost like this looks shit, does it?
Yeah, you're worried, are you? Worried about power? Check that out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's impressive stuff. There we go, folks. Another Uncharted wrapping up for another week. New style. I'm feeling the new bring random shit to the table. Not that we don't anyway. As always, folks, if you like what you heard, you know what to do. Show us some love down below. Subscribe, do all that good stuff, and go check out some of the other podcasts that are all available. So from Angry Link, it's
adios,
and from me, I'm out. So peace.